God says you have been feeling something in your spirit, a quiet stirring that you can't explain, a heaviness that doesn't come from your emotions but from your discernment. You can sense that something is off, even when you can't put it into words. And today, God is telling you that the reason you feel what you feel is because someone around you is keeping secrets, hiding truths, concealing their real intentions, and God does not want you walking blindly into emotional danger. You have prayed for clarity, asked for signs, pleaded for understanding, and heaven is now moving. This is not imagination. This is not insecurity. This is discernment, and God is about to expose everything that has been hidden from you. You have noticed the shift. The distance in communication, the sudden change in tone, the way he chooses silence over honesty. You have seen the inconsistencies. One thing said today, another thing said tomorrow. Promises given lightly, and then forgotten the moment they no longer serve him. You have noticed how he avoids direct questions, how he changes the subject when things become too real, how he offers half-truths hoping you won't look deeper. But your spirit sees what your eyes cannot, and God is whispering to you louder than ever before, trust what I am showing you, not what he is telling you. His words have been polished, but his intentions have been hidden. His actions have been strategic, but his heart has been concealed. He has been keeping secrets, and God is about to expose everything, not to hurt you, but to protect you. God knows how much you gave. How deeply you loved. How sincerely you trusted. You weren't naive, you were genuine. You weren't blind, you were loyal. You weren't foolish, you were faithful. And when someone has a heart like yours, the enemy often sends people who don't appreciate it, people who exploit it, people who take advantage of it because they assume you won't notice. But you do. You always do. Not because you investigate, but because your intuition is connected to God's voice. And when God sees someone trying to deceive you, he doesn't stay silent. He reveals. He uncovers. He exposes. Not to shame them, but to shield you. You have been sensing a contradiction between his words and his energy. He says he cares, yet something feels missing. He says he loves you, yet something feels incomplete. He says he is honest, yet something feels concealed. That is not paranoia. That is not overthinking. That is spiritual awareness. Every time you tried brushing it off, the feeling returned stronger. Every time you tried to convince yourself it was nothing, something else popped up to remind you that it is something. God has been trying to get your attention, because what is hidden from you has been slowing your peace, draining your spirit, and blocking the clarity you need. God is about to reveal what your heart has been unable to see. The truth may come through a conversation, a message, a confession, a sudden shift, or a moment that exposes his real intentions. But however it arrives, it will be undeniable. God is not exposing this to punish him, he is exposing this to free you. To pull you away from deception before it can wound you deeper. To protect your future from someone who cannot be transparent. To make sure you don't build on unstable ground. You deserve a love that doesn't hide, doesn't twist stories, doesn't play emotional games, doesn't keep parts of itself tucked away in secret corners. You deserve a connection where honesty is natural, not negotiated. Where loyalty is consistent, not conditional. Where intentions are clear, not coded. Where communication is straightforward, not selective. The person God has for you will not hide things, they will reveal themselves because they feel safe with you. They will not fear your questions, they will welcome them. They will not avoid the truth, they will share it willingly. Love built on secrets collapses, but love grounded in truth endures. God is leading you toward the latter. You have carried the weight of confusion for too long. You have questioned yourself more than you should have. You have wondered if you were overreacting when deep down you knew the truth deserved better light. Every time he withheld clarity, it injured your peace. Each time you felt something was hidden, it cost you emotional energy. God watched all of that. God saw that you kept giving chances, kept choosing kindness, kept offering understanding, kept believing there was still honesty underneath it all. But unfortunately, not everyone values transparency the way you do. Some people hide because they fear losing control. Some hide because they want multiple options. Some hide because they know the truth won't benefit them. Some hide because they never planned to give their whole heart in the first place. And God will not allow you to be misled. What is coming will not be subtle. It will be clear, undeniable, and absolutely eye-opening. The truth will come in a way that leaves no room for confusion, no space for excuses, and no possibility for manipulation. It will be a revelation that shifts everything inside you, your thoughts, your emotions, your expectations, your decisions. And with that truth will come freedom. The weight will lift. The confusion will end. The emotional fog will clear. The battle between your intuition and his explanations will stop. God is giving you clarity because clarity is the beginning of healing. You may feel disappointed when the truth comes, but you will also feel relieved. Because deep down, not knowing has been hurting you more than the truth ever could. You've been living in emotional limbo, half trusting, half doubting, half believing, half questioning. That is not peace. That is not alignment. That is spiritual imbalance. And God never intended for you to remain in that space. He is pulling you out of uncertainty and into revelation. He is removing the blindfold, not because you were blind, but because someone tried to dim the light around you. Even if the truth stings, it will strengthen you. Even if it surprises you, it will refine you. Even if it disappoints you, it will redirect you. God never reveals without purpose. He never exposes without protection. He never uncovers without meaning. This revelation is not the end of something, it is the beginning of something better. Your heart is too precious to be mishandled. Your loyalty is too rare to be undervalued. Your emotional honesty is too pure to be deceived. Anyone who wants access to your heart must come with truth, not secrets. God is about to expose everything not to break you, but to rebuild you stronger. He is removing the person who hides so he can bring you someone who reveals. He is removing the one who plays with your trust so he can bring you someone who honors it. He is removing the one who keeps secrets so he can bring you someone who builds a future out of honesty. Do not fear the revelation. Do not fear the truth. Do not fear what is about to surface. God is preparing your heart in advance so you will not be shaken. You are being strengthened, stabilized, and spiritually sharpened. You are being guided toward emotional safety and away from emotional danger. You are being pulled out of confusion and into clarity. What is hidden cannot stay hidden when God decides to shine light on it. And today, God is telling you, the exposure is coming. The truth is rising. The secrets are ending. What you have been sensing is exactly what I am about to reveal. You will look back and realize that this exposure was the moment everything changed for you, the moment your spirit became lighter, your path became clearer, and your heart became more aligned with God's plan. You deserve the kind of connection where the truth is never a threat, and God is clearing the path so that you can receive it. Sometimes God reveals the truth slowly, piece by piece, letting you feel the shift long before you understand the reason. Other times, He reveals it suddenly, like a curtain pulling back all at once. And the truth that is coming your way has been building for a long time. You didn't imagine the distance. You didn't imagine the inconsistencies. You didn't imagine the shift in His energy. You were sensing what was really happening beneath the surface. God allowed you to feel the spiritual tension because He didn't want you to be blindsided. He didn't want you walking deeper into something built on hidden intentions. Now the moment has come where what was buried is rising to the surface, and your spirit is already preparing for it. You may notice signs intensifying, things not adding up, conversations feeling off, gestures that used to be natural now feeling forced. His excuses feel recycled. His words feel shallow. His promises feel empty. You can sense that the connection is no longer flowing the way it once did. That is God softening your heart for the truth, not to break you, but to detach you from what was never meant to hold you forever. And though this may feel painful, it is ultimately protection. God does not expose what you are meant to keep. He exposes what you are meant to release. There were moments when you questioned yourself, moments when you thought maybe you were being too sensitive, moments when you tried to silence your intuition because you didn't want to create drama. But God was the one placing that feeling in your spirit. God was the one nudging you every time He wasn't honest. God was the one whispering, "Look closer, something is not right." Not because God wants you to doubt people, but because He wants you to discern intentions. And discernment is the gift He gives to protect your heart from those who don't deserve access to it. You gave Him chances because your heart is soft. You believed His words because you love deeply. You overlooked things because you wanted to see the good. But every time you forgave the inconsistency, God saw how it drained you. Every time you gave Him the benefit of the doubt, God saw how it stretched you. Every time you believed He would finally be transparent, God saw how it hurt you when He wasn't. That is why God is stepping in. You have endured enough emotional confusion, enough uncertainty, enough half-truths. God is removing the veil because you deserve peace. When the truth finally unfolds, you may be tempted to blame yourself, wondering if you could have done something different, if you missed something you should have seen earlier, if you ignored red flags that were obvious. But God wants you to release that guilt before it even forms in your heart. You were not blind. You saw what He allowed you to see. You were not foolish. You trusted because trust is a strength, not a weakness. You were not wrong to believe in Him. He was wrong for hiding what He didn't want you to know. Accountability belongs to Him, not you. There is a version of you rising from this situation, a stronger, wiser, more intuitive version of yourself. You are not going through this to come out weaker. You are going through this to come out aligned. You are being shaped into someone who will never again settle for uncertainty, never again tolerate emotional games, never again accept love that hides more than it reveals. Your heart is graduating to a higher level of spiritual understanding. God is preparing to give you clarity through conversations you didn't expect, information you weren't looking for, or a moment that reveals everything without you having to search for it. When it happens, you won't need to ask for confirmation. You won't need to wonder whether it is from God. Your spirit will recognize the truth instantly. It will click. It will make sense. It will bring relief even if it brings sadness. And the moment the truth appears, your healing begins. Your heart will finally rest. Your emotions will exhale. Your spirit will be released from the tension it has been carrying for too long. You will begin to understand why God allowed the distance, why He allowed things to shift, why He didn't let the connection deepen further. God saw the secret before you did. And because He loves you, He is exposing what you were never meant to build your future on. You deserve the kind of love that does not hide, the kind of connection that does not confuse, the kind of partner who speaks truth even when it is difficult. God is clearing the path for that kind of love to enter your life. He is removing someone who cannot be honest so he can bring someone who will cherish transparency. He is closing the chapter of secrets so he can open the chapter of certainty. What is coming may shake you for a moment, but it will strengthen you for a lifetime. You will look back and thank God for exposing the truth before you invested more of your heart, before you sacrificed more of yourself, before you built dreams on what was never secure. This revelation is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of the story God wrote for you long before you knew what love even meant. You may not see it now, but everything is unfolding exactly the way it needs to. You are being guided. You are being protected. You are being prepared. And soon, you will see that what felt like heartbreak was actually divine intervention. God is exposing everything because He loves you too much to let you be deceived any longer. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when God steps in so clearly that you can no longer ignore what He has been preparing you for. You are entering that moment now. What you are about to walk into is not confusion, not fear, not loss, it is clarity. It is truth. It is divine exposure that leads to emotional freedom. And even though this revelation may challenge your heart, it will protect your future. God has been watching the way this situation has affected you. He has seen the silent pain you carried when you sensed things were being hidden. He saw how you tried to make peace with uncertainty, how you tried to convince yourself to stay calm even when your spirit was trembling. He saw how you kept showing love, loyalty, and patience even when things were not being reciprocated honestly. And God said, "Enough. This child of mine has suffered confusion long enough." That is why the exposure is coming, not as punishment, but as liberation. In the coming days or weeks, things will align in ways that reveal the truth without you having to dig, question, or chase answers. God is bringing everything to the surface through divine timing. A conversation will open a door. A detail will slip. A moment will reveal more than words ever could. A situation will unfold that makes everything suddenly make sense. The truth will come out in a way that confirms what you already felt, but couldn't yet prove. And when it does, your heart will finally understand why you felt uneasy, why you sensed His distance, why you felt spiritually alert around His intentions. Do not fear this revelation. God is not breaking your heart, He is removing the hands that were mishandling it. He is not ending your story, He is redirecting it towards something healthier, purer, more honest, and more aligned with the love He intends for you. Sometimes God has to let you see the truth you tried to avoid because He knows the pain of holding on to the wrong person is far worse than the pain of letting them go. There is nothing wrong with you for wanting transparency. There is nothing wrong with you for expecting honesty. There is nothing wrong with you for wanting love that communicates openly. You were not asking for too much, you were asking the wrong person. And God is about to show you this in the gentlest, but clearest way possible. When the truth is revealed, do not hold on to bitterness. Do not let anger sit in your heart. Do not let disappointment convince you that you are unworthy or unlovable. Instead, recognize that this revelation is God's mercy. God is removing hidden pain from your future. God is sparing you from a deeper heartbreak. God is redirecting your steps before you invest more than your spirit can afford to lose. And after the truth comes, something even more powerful will follow: peace. A peace that replaces the confusion you carried. A peace that settles in the places where doubt once lived. A peace that brings clarity to every moment of uncertainty you endured. A peace that reminds you God was working even when you didn't understand why things felt wrong. You will feel lighter. You will feel stronger. You will feel wiser. And for the first time in a long time, you will feel aligned instead of conflicted. Because the truth, no matter how heavy it seems, always frees the heart God is protecting. And after the exposure comes closure, not because the connection didn't matter, but because your growth matters more. This is not the end of your ability to love. This is not the end of your heart's capacity. This is the beginning of your healing. The beginning of your new strength. The beginning of a chapter where you will never again settle for half-truths, mixed signals, scraped-together effort, or emotional guessing games. Once the truth comes out, God will begin aligning you with someone whose honesty doesn't need to be questioned, whose loyalty doesn't need to be decoded, whose intentions do not shift with convenience. Someone who speaks truthfully, who loves openly, who communicates clearly, who values your heart the way God designed it to be valued. Someone who doesn't hide, because they don't want to lose you. You are not stepping into loss. You are stepping into clarity. You are stepping into spiritual awakening. You are stepping into the strength of knowing the truth rather than carrying the burden of secrets that were never yours to hold. As this season closes, God wants you to remember that every ending He allows is a divine redirection, not a rejection. So breathe. Release the tension. Release the fear. Release the need to understand everything today. Right now, God is protecting you from what you cannot yet see. And soon, you will understand why He had to expose what was hidden. Soon, you will look back with gratitude because God stepped in before emotional damage could deepen. Soon, you will see that this was not a breaking, it was a saving. You are being guided into a future where honesty is natural, love is safe, connection is clear, and your heart is honored without hesitation. This truth is the turning point. This exposure is the beginning of your healing. And God is standing with you through every part of it. You will not walk through this alone. You will not hurt without purpose. You will not cry without comfort. God is lifting you, protecting you, and preparing you for the love you truly deserve. The secrets are ending. The truth is arriving. Your healing is beginning. And what God brings next will be better than anything you thought you lost.